Here are the 5 easiest ways to earn Blast Gold for the next Blast airdrop. Step number 1 is to go to blast.matscrypto.com and join the Blast Phase 2 airdrop if you have not already. You'll need to do that before you start this because otherwise getting gold means almost nothing. Number 1. IKB. Come over to this page by going to ikb.matscrypto.com. It's a daily fantasy site, but you can see right here they have pick'em contests for NBA, NFL, and MLB. Currently, there is none of those available right now, and the only contest that's going on right now is the one we're going to be talking about today. This is the $100,000 best ball tournament. You can see right here there are a max of 4,000 entries, and you have $25 per entry, which means all of it, all $100,000 is going to be given out in prizes. There is no house rake back. The house is making no money on this, which means all the entries are going to get paid out to the winners, which is pretty cool. Now, this just opened a few hours ago and there's only 71 entries, but I do expect as this gets known and pushed out there to more people, these entries are going to fill up rather quickly. The one caveat here is that there is 49 days left until the NFL season starts, so there is quite a bit of time, but my guess is that this is going to fill up and they'll actually launch another best ball tournament to have more entries available because this is going to fill up before the 50 days are up. That's my guess. We can go and check out the prizes right over here, and you can see they're going to be doing it by weeks. So week 1 to 14 down here, the first place finisher is going to get $1,000, and then all the way down to 1,000, you're going to win $35. Meaning that if you enter and you are in the top 25%, right, the first 1,000 places out of the 4,000 entries, you're going to at least make $10 on your entry. So you'd make $10 and you'll get 75 gold per entry, assuming that you place in the top 25%, which is not necessarily easy, but it's also definitely not the hardest thing ever. And if you also place top 25%, you'll get into the next week, which is week 15, which this time the top 250 people will win another $35, all the way up to 1,000 for finishing first. If you get in top 25% of this one, which is again the top 250, you move to week 16, which is again going to give you another payout. Then the top 25% of that is going to be the top 50 people. We'll move to the final week, and that will be where the massive 15,000 first place grand prize will be. Now you can see over under the gold section right here that you are going to get a daily rake back and daily trophies that give out 6,000 gold every single day just for entering contests, just like the best ball one right here. You can see so far currently in July, I actually have gotten an estimated 2,373 gold from entering the best ball tournament 23 times. But if you're watching this video in August, we're not sure what the payout's going to be for the best ball tournament that upcomes in August. But you can see right here that I have projected to get 50, 1, 46, 8, and 81 different trophies. This one actually already dispatched, the 87, the 81, the 57, the 40, and these are all based on daily trophy payouts for entering this contest. So whatever contests are available, whatever pick'ems are available each day, you're gonna get part of that 6,000 daily gold given out based on how many trophies you have. And every day you come back and get more trophies, you're gonna get a multiplier to earn even more trophies when you enter new contests. So they're giving out a significant amount of gold here. We're looking at literally 40, 50, 80, 29 gold over the last couple days just for entering a contest 2-3 times, which is about $25 to $50. So if gold is worth 25 cents, we are basically making our money back on those entries in gold value right away, so that you can basically offset those entry fees by gold, and then anything you win will be upside. Now we can see in the most recent gold distribution, this is the first distribution for phase 2. IKB is number here 11. You can see they got 532,000 gold, which is as much as many other games like YOLO games, Captain and Company, and Wolf games. So there is a ton of gold to be given out here. Number 2, Megapot. So the first step is to go over to the link down below. It's megapot.matscrypto.com, and that's going to bring you over to the Megapot page right here. So the first way to participate in the Megapot lottery is simply to try to win the lottery. And that is very, very straightforward. You basically come on each day, and you can see right now we have the Ethereum lottery right here, which is actually at almost $8,000 for today, and it ends in 1 hour and 55 minutes. Like I said, these happen every single day, so you can participate in a new lottery every day if you wanted to. And then the Blast one, which is just starting up. This one, I expect the pot to grow quite a bit as we get closer to that August 6th date. And so don't worry about that price right now. But for For this example, we can buy a ticket for either the Ethereum or the Blast lottery. And simply all you need to do is go down here and click to buy one ticket. You could buy 10 tickets. You could even buy 100 tickets if you want to. As we can see, if we go back to one ticket, it is 0.001 Ethereum, which is roughly $3 to $3.50 per ticket. So not expensive at all. It's kind of like buying a lottery ticket at the gas station where you're buying a Mega Millions or a Powerball ticket for $1 or $2. This one happens to be $3.20 right now, but obviously it depends on the price of Ethereum, but it's usually around $3 per ticket. So you can see here, these are the chances to win as well. So if you buy one ticket, you have 1 in 2,821 chance to win. Almost guaranteed we're going to lose if we are entering with one ticket. If we were to do 100 tickets, you can see we have a 100 in 2,000 chance. So it's 1 in 282 chance to win. And if we do 1,000 tickets, you can see that, the odds keep going up the more tickets you buy. But obviously, 1 ETH is a pretty expensive price considering you'd be winning 2.3 ETH. So you can do the math and go ahead and play the game if you want to here. But this is the one main way to enter, is to just play the lottery like a normal person would play any lottery. What happens here though, in terms of farming gold, is you can see we get points for however many tickets we buy. And points on Megapot are going to be the way you determine how much gold you get from their gold distribution. So in this first round here, in this past month of July, they had 32,000 gold to give out. And depending on how many points you had, you got a share of that gold. And I think the gold payout was pretty good. I didn't actually participate this past month. So that snapshot's already done. It's already been taken, which means I can't participate in that. But I do think, speculating on this upcoming month, seeing that Blast is going to reward dApps that have integrated the Blast token, which they have, they're going to be getting more gold. That's my personal speculation. So I think the gold will go up from 30,000, but even if it's 30,000 again, there are not a lot of users on this site yet. You can see right here, they have 31,000 gold and they only had 144 people entering into the tickets section, right? Actually participating in the lottery. So the gold payout is really, really quite high considering there's so few users. However, you can also earn points from liquidity providing, which again, we'll get to in a second, but you can actually get a streak bonus, meaning that if you can play consecutive days, right? If you buy a ticket every single day, you can earn up to 2.5x your normal mega points. So you can see they say if you play on day 1, you'll earn 1.5. On day 2, you'll earn 2x mega points. On day 3, you'll earn 2.5x mega points. And then every day after, you earn 2.5x mega points. So entering, if you're going to enter, let's say 10 tickets total, you could do 1 a day for 10 days and you'll earn more points that way than doing all 10 at once. So the next way to participate in Megapot is to actually come over here to liquidity and be a liquidity provider. Right now, because Megapot is so new, they need people to provide liquidity to actually fund these jackpots and fund these lotteries that happen every single day. So you can see right here, if we go back to ETH, you can actually add liquidity right now. And what will happen is when you put your liquidity in there, right? If you put ETH into the jackpot pool, then you can decide how much of that ETH you actually want to enter into the jackpot every single day. And if the house wins, right? Meaning that if there's 100 people that participate and enter the lottery, and there is a total of 1,000 people worth of equivalents in the liquidity provided for that jackpot, then you basically have 1,000 tickets in that lottery out of 1,100 tickets. And there's a high chance you will get some rake back or some money back and some APY for providing liquidity on the lottery. But you can also see that you get 10 to 15% of lottery sale tickets given back to the liquidity providers based on the amount that you stake. Now you can see right here, this is the stake amount. So let's say you put in $100 into the liquidity pool. You don't actually have to put all $100 into the jackpot right away. You can actually choose how much of your deposited amount is staked into each jackpot. Right now, the recommendation number is 10%. So you could do a very low amount like 5%, or you can do up to YOLO, which is literally the entire amount of capital you put in would be staked immediately into that jackpot. So what you would do in order to provide liquidity is you connect your wallet and then you would go ahead and supply however much ETH you want and then decide how much you want to stake. There is a lot more here to dive into that I'm not going to go into detail in this video, but if you want to, you can come over here, you can click on this button right here, learn about providing liquidity, and they have a pretty thorough documentation of how you can provide liquidity, how much APY you can expect to get, how it works, how the funding works, how the staking amount works, and all the different math you can do to determine whether or not providing liquidity makes sense for you. This is a way to potentially earn more on the ETH you might have sitting around on Blast. So it is an option if you want to look into this. I personally haven't provided any liquidity yet. I am still looking and watching and seeing how this works a bit more before I put any of my own money in, because I don't feel comfortable doing it until I really fully understand exactly how their system works and exactly what the upsides and the downsides are. But if you want to participate in this, you can check it out and obviously do your own research and make sure it's a decision that you want to make before you participate. Now, in terms of the gold allocation for liquidity providing, you can see right here that we get 10 mega points for every ticket purchased as a user, as a lottery entrant, which we talked about earlier in the video. But for liquidity providers, you're going to get 1 mega point per ETH that you have deposited into the contract each day. That doesn't mean you're actually putting it into the jackpot, right? You don't even have to stake it. If you put any money into the contract and are thinking about staking it or having liquidity provided to some degree, or you're not in, your money's in the contract, you're going to earn 1 mega point per day per ETH that you have in there. Then you'll actually get 100 mega points per day for every ETH that's deposited into the contract and is staked, meaning that you're guaranteeing a minimum for the jackpots. That means you actually are putting the money into the jackpot and you are basically funding that lottery to some degree, and your money is at stake. So you're gonna earn a lot more, right? 100x mega points. We can actually see that right here. 100x points will be 100 times the mega points you get per ETH for money you actually have staked into the lottery. So now let's head over to the Blast jackpot that is starting on August 6th. You can see right here, the launch countdown is 8 days as of recording this video on July 29th. This is gonna come out on July 30th when they have announced the Blast jackpot. So you can see right here, they're gonna show you how much Blast has totally. So you can see on the dashboard for the Blast jackpot, we can see that 1,700 total Blast has been deposited, and they will have a minimum of 50,000 Blast for liquidity providing for the Blast jackpot. So I think that's around $800 to $1,000 depending on what the price of Blast is at that time. Now you can also see that they update the APR based on the liquidity providers. This changes a lot each day depending on how many users are actually entering the jackpot, how often the house wins versus how often the users win the jackpot, because again, these do happen every single day. So this number is going to change quite a bit, but obviously it should be quite high since this is early stages in this DApp. And so you have to decide as a liquidity provider if the APR and the swings, the volatility of this APR is worth you putting your money into the contract. And again, that's totally up to you to decide. I personally have not deposited any liquidity yet. Now, jumping back to the gold farming part of this, if you are going to provide any amount of liquidity, you can earn a significant amount of gold or points, mega points multipliers early on when this launches. So you can see right here, you can earn 3x mega points right now. After the launch, will be capped to maximize early adopters yield. So there will be a cap on how many people can deposit Blast into the Blast jackpot liquidity pool. Now, I actually have considered depositing Blast for the liquidity pool when this launches. One, because it's brand new, and two, because I have a lot of Blast that I'm holding right now that currently doesn't do me a whole lot in terms of earning additional yield or anything like that, right? It's just earning me 2x points for the next Blast airdrop. But if I deposit it in here, I could be earning some APR and some significant APR potentially on that. And I also will be getting access to that gold, which I am speculating will be higher than 30,000 in the month of August. So by depositing some Blast, I could be earning some upside in APR, and I will be participating in getting some extra mega points for gold early on. So the Blast pool is something I'm considering doing personally, and that's only because I have a lot of Blast, and I'm more willing to speculate with that Blast than I am with my Ethereum. So in order to do that, all we need to do is connect our wallet down here. We're gonna go ahead and supply at least 50,000 Blast, and you can see right here what the principal will be, how much you're going to stake, depending on how much you want to stake right up here, and then you can see how many points you're gonna get per day based on your contribution to the liquidity pool. Now, if we mess around with different amounts here, you can see if we go aggressive, we're gonna earn almost double the amount of points, but obviously there is more staked and therefore more at risk of potentially being won by a user in the lottery, in which case we would lose that Blast token. Now, obviously day to day, these numbers are gonna change a ton depending on how things go. But over time, in theory, we should be able to see some small or decent sized returns on our investment as long as we do stick with it long enough. But short term, this is gonna be extremely volatile. So number 3, Wasabi. Wasabi is probably one of the most passive ways to earn yield on whatever coins you're holding in your wallet. You can have USDB, ETH, Pac Moon, and now you can even have coins that are meme coins like Andy. And all you need to do is go over to Blast Wasabi and put those in a vault, which will earn yield based on whatever the APY is at the time. You will also get gold and Wasabi points that will pay out, again, gold over time. Now, Wasabi actually got 500,000 gold in the first distribution, so I expect they'll get a lot of gold as well in future distributions because a lot of people are using this site and it's doing quite well. So if you do have some extra coins laying around or you want to earn passive yield and also earn gold on your coins, Wasabi is one of the easy ways to do that by putting them in a vault where you'll get wrapped Pac Moon or wrapped USDB, so you can still have liquidity on those coins if you wanted to further use them, but for the most part, it's just a passive way to earn yield. Number 4, Fantasy Top and or using Huddle, which is the social application layer built on top of Fantasy Top. Go to huddle.matscrypto.com to join, and then you'll just sign in with your Twitter account. Now, if you've never played Fantasy Top before, this might not be as relevant, but if you want to just join this outside of Fantasy Top, you can do that too. And just by delegating your wallet up here, you will get 2 gold. At least that's what I got so far. I'm not sure if that's a one-time thing or not, but you basically will click delegate. You'll put in the wallet you want to receive the Blast Gold on, and they will send you 2 Blast Gold just for signing in and doing that alone. Now, on top of that, they have their format here in terms of questing very similar to many other airdrops. You'll go over to this quest tab here under the quest tab right up here, and then quests. And you can see that there's daily quests. So log on every day, you're gonna get 5 points. Send a message, which means you're gonna go back over to Huddle, and then in the main section right here, you just send any message. Send a message here. Hello, good morning. And there you go. Once you do that, you'll be able to go back to quests and claim your send a message, which for some reason it just reset. So we'll go ahead and reclaim that right now. And there you go. We got it again. We'll claim this one again as well. I'm not sure if the timer just reset or something else happened, but I was able to go and claim those again right there. You can also gain 30 points for going back to the main Huddle dashboard. And this is again what this whole thing is. It's really just a chat room or it's kind of like Friend Tech, where you basically have all the different heroes, the hero cards, and then to chat in their room, you actually need to have that hero card on Fantasy Top. So if you have it, you can go in and chat in here. You can see all the members that have it, and you can kind of talk strategy and game plan with that hero or that creator about what they're going to do with the upcoming Fantasy Top tournaments. So if you never play Fantasy Top, that will make a lot more sense if you play it, but you have to own the hero cards in order to chat in these different chat rooms. You can see these are all the top chat rooms, and so in order to get that quest, you need to actually have the hero card and then join the chat room and drop a message in there one time to get those 30 points. Currently, you can see right up here, I have no cards. I sold all my Fantasy Top cards at the end of phase 1 of the Blast airdrop because I was unsure what the future would look like, but now that we have gold back and Fantasy Top has gotten 1 million gold already, I'm going to be hopping back into Fantasy Top, and I'll make a video on that shortly on what I'm doing because I don't want to dump a bunch of money into it again because it is very hard to win at this point on the main tournaments, but we're going to play Tactics. As you can see right here, this Tactics is going to bring you over to the Tactics section on Fantasy Top, and this is what we're going to be playing a lot of to earn some of those juicy gold rewards they have, and they also have monetary prizes now as well. So this one's a little bit more leveling the playing field. We'll talk about that on another video, but in order to get some of these other bonuses and these other quests right here, you can see purchase a tactic is 80 points. So purchasing 1 tactic is going to get you that bonus here for this quest, and I haven't done that yet, so I can't claim that one either. But there are also tournament quests. If you own cards on Fantasy Top, you can enter tournaments with those cards, and then you're going to also get quest points here on Huddle. So all these different quests are different ways to earn through either Fantasy Top or directly on Huddle and get you points on Huddle, and then I imagine those points will at some point translate to Blast Gold. That's the end game here again for this one because it's all free, or at least a lot of these quests are free to do, and they are not relevant unless you have to pay. Some of them will be only relevant if you have to pay for Fantasy Top cards, but a lot of these are free to do. So you get 430 points for free just for doing those quests really quickly that are totally easy and again free to do, and you'll be top 1,000 ranked. I have no idea how relevant that is, but if we do go over to the docs for Huddle, you can see right here, they don't don't have a ton of gold, but you can see right here, the gold allocation for players and heroes is 5,000. But as you can see, the quest leaderboard, which again is what we were just focusing on, and a lot of those things were free to do, we have 32,000 gold to give out. So right now, there's not a ton of users on the site. If we actually go back to Huddle and go to the referrals, and go to the referral leaderboard, you can see right here, Beast ISO, which is a guy I follow on Twitter. He's really great. The most users he invited was 108, which is a lot, but not crazy compared to other dApps that I've used so far, where we've had over 1,000 people joining under my ref link, for example. You can see right here, he's earned 114 gold just from those 108 users. So really, if you look at this, it goes down very quickly. There's probably not more than 1,000 users on this app so far. So going back over to the pages right here, 1,000 users, 3,000 gold, that breaks down to somewhere around 30 gold per user if it's unweighted. And there's obviously gonna be more things you can do as time goes on, and I'm sure as there's more gold allocations each month, these guys might get more gold because they're doing a good job of really tapping into what Fantasy Top does well and adding utility for chat rooms and having beneficial reasons to own Fantasy Top hero cards. So I do think that Blast will reward them with more gold as time goes on. And number 5 is leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys are using to farm Blast gold, because I've heard a lot of different opinions and there's probably some dApps that I haven't even seen yet that are doing quite well in terms of time and effort to gold payout. And we'll find out which one's the 5th best based on your comments down below. That's all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed the video, give it a big thumbs up. It helps me out a ton. Make sure you subscribe for more. And before you leave, go and watch this video right here.